1,306,500 troops have already been lost by the Russian Federation since the start of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. These estimates are provided by the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Of those, 1,030 occupiers were eliminated by the defense forces over the past 24 hours. In addition, 5 tanks, 4 armored combat vehicles, and over 60 artillery systems were destroyed, along with 1 MLRS and 1 air defense system, as well as nearly 2,000 drones and over 200 units of Russian automotive and special equipment. Russia's losses in the Donbass have increased nearly threefold since the beginning of the year. This was stated in an interview with RBC Ukraine by the deputy head of the Office of the President of Ukraine, Brigadier General Pavlo Palisa. He specified that this refers to statistics for the first quarter of 2026, specifically within the Donetsk region, from the Lyman direction all the way to the Oleksandrivka direction. Palisa thanked the Ukrainian defenders for achieving such results.
For every occupied square kilometer in the Donetsk region, they have 316 killed and wounded. That is, comparing the directions of the main strike from last year and today, there is an increase of almost double. And their average losses along the line of contact in the Donbass have increased nearly threefold. So you can draw your own conclusions about their successes in the Donetsk direction and at what cost. Their advances are minimal. Tactical successes in several areas are very symbolic. There are no operational ones overall. Therefore, they are actually detached from reality. At the same time, I must note that, of course, it is difficult on the front right now. It's hard for our guys, and I'm grateful to them for their endurance and for what they do. All these listed results are, first and foremost, the merit of our warriors. Pavlo Palisa, Deputy Head of the Office of the President of Ukraine, Brigadier General, in an interview with the RBC Ukraine agency.
They evacuate damaged or captured military equipment under enemy fire, then restore it and return it to service. How does the repair unit of the 4th Border Detachment operate in the Kharkiv direction? In the report by Natalia Bilokuder,
in a room that resembles a service station, tools and parts of military equipment damaged on the battlefield are everywhere. The repair unit of the 4th Kharkiv Border Detachment has been working here since the first days of the full-scale Russian invasion. This Tysa armored pickup truck has been under repair for more than 2 weeks. A Russian FPV drone seriously damaged the engine of the combat vehicle.
The FPV hit the hood.
The FPV hit the hood, tore it open, and damaged the engine. We're changing it, putting in another engine. Now the guys are assembling it to get it ready for startup. The vehicle is wrecked, but thank God the crew is safe.
47-year-old Ivan joined the Border Guards repair unit in 2023. Before that, since February 2022, he fixed military gear for free in his garage. He calls his work auto-resuscitation, where in a very short time he must fix up battered, burnt, and broken cars and also evacuate equipment from the front lines.
Just this last time. The last time we were just 3 kilometers from the border itself, picking it up at night. It's pitch black at night, and we had to drive really fast. We used thermal imagers. We couldn't turn on the lights so we wouldn't be spotted. The vehicles are falling apart just from being used so much. The working conditions are extremely tough. Hitting potholes in the dark of night, wheels just rip off. Even like that, without any incoming fire.
Yevhen, the senior driver of the evacuation group, has made dozens of trips to the front lines. The crews are on duty 24/7, and if an evacuation order comes, they gear up and go. And not just at night, but by day too, under the gaze of enemy strike drones.
Someone's hunting the sky. Someone is hunting the sky. We have a rifle to shoot down those drones and teamwork. The main thing is to get there fast, hook up the car, and leave, then figure it out later. Well, of course it's scary to do, it's not always calm. But panic is our enemy, so we go in with a clear head. We know exactly what we're going to do there.
Yevhen says that once he and his comrades set a speed record. At the front lines, they managed to load a vehicle onto the tow truck in 90 seconds and head back to their base. In peacetime back then, Yevhen used to have his very own repair shop, and when he joined the defense forces, he saw that really true experts serve here, capable of fixing absolutely any fault in no time.
I, even couldn't imagine I couldn't even imagine that such specialists serve in the army and do things like this. At my shop, a lot of what they do here just wasn't done. I mean, I'd take cars for repair to one place or another, back and forth. But here, everything's on site, and there are very high-level specialists. It's hard to find people like that in civilian life.
Repairing military gear is a constant process, regardless of the season or time of day. The 4th Border Detachment and its repair unit have everything needed to restore any military equipment that comes their way.
In general, there was different equipment. Overall, we've had all kinds of equipment, from M113 to BTRs. All the equipment that is currently in service with our detachment is repaired by our unit. Our task is to restore this faulty equipment as quickly as possible so that it can work in the units where it is needed.
In the Kharkiv direction, the evacuation of equipment and its repair follow a well-established scheme. The crew's routes are worked out in detail because the main thing here is to ensure the safety of the people. Natalia Belokudria, Andrei Domovoy from the Kharkiv region for the Freedom TV channel.
And we return to the main topic of the day, the establishment of peace in the Middle East. Ukraine welcomes the agreements between the United States and Iran on a ceasefire and the opening of the Strait of Hormuz, and calls on the United States to show determination in pressuring the Russian Federation to end the war it unleashed. This was stated by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, Andriy Sybiha.
We welcome the agreement reached between President Trump and the Iranian regime to unblock the Strait of Hormuz and the ceasefire, as well as the mediation efforts of Pakistan. U.S. determination is yielding results. We believe that the time has come to show sufficient determination to force Moscow to cease fire and put an end to the war against Ukraine. This was stated by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine on the social network X.
The situation in the Middle East and the Persian Gulf also affects the negotiation process in Ukraine. After all, the truce between the US and Iran opens the way for diplomatic work between Ukraine and Russia as well. This was stated by President Volodymyr Zelensky. He also emphasized that a ceasefire is the right decision that leads to the end of the war.
Ukraine has always called for a ceasefire in the war that Russia is waging here in Europe against our state and people. And we support the silence in the Middle East and the Gulf, which opens the way for diplomatic work. Ukraine repeats once again to Russia, we are ready to respond in kind if the Russians stop their strikes. It is obvious to everyone that a ceasefire can create the right prerequisites for agreements. Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine.